One of the most misunderstood mechanics in possibly the entirety of Dead by Daylight belongs to the Deathslinger. I'm talking about reeling, something you'll have to do in 100% of your games regardless of the map you're playing on, the perks you have equipped, or your skill level. My name is Nomad and welcome back to Wanted, the Dead by Daylight series where we discuss the Deathslinger and teach you how to play him more effectively. Since this is such a complex and misunderstood mechanic, let's start from the very beginning with chain durability. When you shoot a survivor, this bar will appear at the bottom of your screen, and you unlock the ability to reel by holding the associated button. This bar represents your chain's durability, and you can think of it as a sort of health bar. Your chain has 100 charges, and when the meter fills, or you run out of health, your chain will immediately break, stunning you, freeing the impaled survivor, applying the deep wound effect, and injuring the survivor if they were healthy. There are 3 factors that reduce the durability of your chain, each with their own unique depletion rate. Number 1. Tension. Tension is just passive decay, and it will always be there regardless of what you, the survivor, or your chain is doing. Tension drains 2.5 charges per second, meaning that if nothing else is affecting your chain, it takes 40 seconds for it to break from this mechanic alone. Number 2. Pulling. While a survivor is impaled on your spear, they can resist its influence by using their movement keys. This allows the survivor to get caught on objects and slows how quickly they're pulled towards you, and it also increases how quickly your chain breaks. Pulling drains your chain's durability at a rate of 15 charges per second. This, coupled with tension, which is always there regardless of what is going on, combines for a drain rate of 17.5 charges per second, meaning it will take about 6 seconds for your chain to break under normal circumstances. Number 3. Collision. Collision is when your chain is connecting with an obstacle, the environment, or another survivor. This is indicated by your chain turning this orangish red color, almost like metal that's been superheated. Collision drains your durability the fastest at a rate of 20 charges per second. All 3 of these factors, tension, pulling, and collision, combine for a drain rate of 37.5 charges per second, giving you about 2.6 seconds before your chain will break. Now before we move on to the reeling action, I want to make something very clear. The only factors that affect your chain's durability are the 3 we just covered: tension, pulling, and collision. And remember, the term pulling refers to the survivor's actions, not your own. In all honesty, the term pulling should be renamed to resistance or something along those lines, but I digress. What I'm trying to say is that reeling has no effect on your chain's durability. Your chain will not break faster by reeling, and its durability will not decay more slowly by not reeling. If you don't believe me, here's a side-by-side comparison of me reeling and not reeling a survivor. In both of these clips, the chain takes the exact same amount of time to break whether I'm reeling or not. And just for good measure, here's another comparison where my chain is colliding with an object. This is probably the second biggest misconception surrounding Deathslinger, and in a moment we'll get to the first. Because now that we understand the chain and its durability, we're gonna go back to when we first shot that survivor and focus on the reeling action instead. When you shoot a survivor, your movement and the survivor's movement are directly linked to one another through the chain. Reeling is an action you can perform while a survivor is impaled, and it causes the chain to retract, pulling you and the survivor closer together so you can reach them with a basic attack. During this time, survivors can use their movement keys to resist the chain's influence, and Deathslinger can use his movement keys to manipulate the survivor in various ways. For example, while reeling, if you hold forward, you move towards the survivor, and if you reel while moving backwards, they're pulled towards you. This is where we arrive at the single biggest misconception about Deathslinger's power. Reeling and moving backwards does not result in a faster hit. The time it takes for you to be in range for a basic attack is always the same, whether you hold forward or backward while reeling. The only thing that changes based on your movement is who moves more quickly towards the other, and there's a side-by-side comparison of that on screen now. Now, even though it always takes the same amount of time to get in range for a basic attack, there's a time and a place for both movement options. For example, if a survivor is near a wall and you want to avoid a potential flashlight save, rather than pulling them away from the wall, you can move forward while reeling and guarantee a safe pickup. Conversely, if a survivor is near a pallet or an exit gate, you can reel and move backwards, pulling them away and denying any pallet saves or potential escapes. Reeling backwards will also prevent your basic attacks from being blocked by other survivors, as they aren't able to get in between you and the impaled survivor due to the increased movement speed. That about does it for the core mechanics of reeling, but I have one more thing I want to cover, something that I rarely see mentioned in any Deathslinger guide. This relates to the collision mechanic we covered earlier, the one that causes your chain to break more quickly. This chain, the one connecting you and the impaled survivor, isn't just for show. It's a real object that interacts with the game world. Something you may notice is that the chain isn't connected directly to you, it's connected to your rifle. And what happens when you move your camera? Your rifle moves along with it. What this means is that you can manipulate your camera while reeling a survivor to minimize how often your chain collides with the environment. Here's an example. If I shoot the survivor and don't move my camera at all, my chain breaks in about 2.6 seconds like we mentioned earlier. But if I shoot the survivor and then move my camera up, my chain will go along with it, stopping the chain from colliding with the environment. This may not seem like a big deal at first, but it can give you almost 3 extra seconds of impalement time. That can be the difference between securing a down and having your chain break, meaning you need to recover from the stun, reload your rifle, catch back up to the survivor, and then shoot again. In closing, a good Deathslinger knows how to shoot, but a great one knows how to reel and use their camera to their advantage. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, please consider liking the video or leaving a comment. If by any chance you missed my post, I will be uploading less montages and more guides, so keep an eye out and remember to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful night.